We are 2 weeks away from Survivor Series. 2 weeks.
2
weeks. And it's starting to come together. Welcome to the Wrestling Council. Welcome to the Wrestling Council. I'm your host, Comic Bob. There's always my good friend Hollywood Frank.
What up? Let's do this. HW in the house.
You can catch us here every Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Talk about all the news in wrestling. You also follow us on social media, scrolling below. As you can see, it's also, well, it would be in the description if I hadn't screwed it up. Holy shit.
Oh my God.
Hello.
He returns.
Now, wait, what the freaking hell? Why are your names not showing up?
I don't know.
Because of the banner. Because of the banner.
Okay, let me kill the banner real quick. Yeah, that's right. When it's up, it doesn't do that. There we go. Now 4-0 against Batista. Oh, man, he went hard after the election, didn't he?
Yep.
Oh, well. It's okay. Everybody out there that's freaking out, don't worry about it. It'll be all right. You're going to survive. But real quick here, as everyone's crawling in, slowly coming in here. How you been, man? Been a minute.
It has been a minute.
I've been very hot. Not just because I am hot, but because it's 40 Celsius every day.
Well, dude, you live at the equator.
I do.
And you live in a jungle, so
that too.
So yeah, you might want to, if you want to cool off, you might want to head north a little bit. Just jump on one of the migrant caravans that are coming up here.
Well, I can.
Oh man, real quick before we get, let's go ahead and check in here. Leg Kick was first. Hail the Wrestling Council. Hail Leg Kick. How you doing, man? Leg Kick, come with Bob and Hollywood Frank talking hard times, baby, hard times. You put hard times on us. If you will. Maldacito, sup, people? Hail Leg Kick. What's up, Maldacito?
Sup?
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 Hello.
What's up?
What's up? OTS Trouble Queen. She's blowing on the fire. I suck at this thing. I suck at these emoji things, man. I don't know what any of this stuff means, but appreciate you being here, man. Did you see MJF hold a guy's WWE Universal title out like he was disgusted with it and drop it on the floor after the picture was taken? Dude, they are crawling up his butthole about that. And I'm like, dude, do you guys not have you? Okay, MJF has been in the mainstream public eye for about 5 years now. Okay, since AEW came out, started. Is there anybody out there that doesn't realize this dude lives kayfabe? Okay, he plays he's like the Undertaker. He plays the character at all times. All right, so anything that he does is not meant to be offensive to you. He's being him. So I thought it was freaking hilarious. It was awesome.
It's just MJF being MJF.
MJF being MJF, exactly. I think Batista would be real thin by the end of President Trump's time. Dude, I'll tell you what, man. I know they're saying obviously he's not doing the roids anymore. I get that. Dude, he isn't just lost muscle mass, man. He's lost like he's lost like physical stature. Like he looks like a rail, man.
He says he feels better, so I'll just believe it. But
does he feel better in the vegan way where they're like they look all unhealthy and shit and they have no strength and like I feel great?
He's done playing Drax, so.
Well, yeah, but jeez, dude, come on, man. leg kick. The WWE Universal title looked horrible. Oh, the one that he had. Yeah, dude. I've never been a fan of that belt. I always thought that belt was crap.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. Anyway, like I said, like I said at the beginning of the show, the time of the show, Survivor Series is beginning to ramp up. We got some new things to talk about. A little wrinkle in the War Games that popped up this week, and I don't know how to feel about it. Alistair Overeem is vegan. You know what? Alistair Overeem is vegan in the way that, like, Alistair Overeem is vegan in the same way that I'm vegan. I'll eat vegetables, but I'm gonna tell you right now, there's gonna be some meat on the table too. I don't believe Alistair Overeem is vegan. I call BS on that dude. That dude's way too damn big. There's no way, man. Vegans are like, they have like a ceiling on how big they can get. So, but did you guys watch Raw this week?
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah, some interesting things happen on there. We'll talk about that. I'll also talk about any of the news. But before that, let's get into our little favorite segment, a little something we call The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. It is an odd episode, so it is that guy right there. What you got, Frank?
The good. Hey, first off, it was yesterday, but thank you to all the veterans out there, past and present. The country wouldn't be where it's at without them, and hats off to them. So thank you for your service. Much, much appreciated. Even this crazy times we have in the States right now, it's I wouldn't change it.
Yeah, things happen.
But we'll move on. We're not talking politics, we're talking wrestling today.
Yep.
But Raw wasn't too bad last night. Let's start off okay with Damian Priest and Gunther. Thought that segment was pretty good. The good. It was nice to see. Hopefully they continue to use them, but it was really nice to see Powerhouse Hobbs.
Yep. That was awesome. I had a feeling it was going to be him.
We were talking. I mean, you and I both thought it was going to be, oh my God, Ospreay.
Yeah. Well, I said the logical thing would be Ospreay.
Yeah.
I think, but I said I'd like it to be somebody else, and I thought Hobbs would be a good choice. And then sure enough, he shut up. So that's awesome.
Powerhouse Hobbs come out. That was definitely shot in the arm for him. Let's hope they continue that momentum. The Hurt Syndicate coming out, they're just still getting over, and it's just great to see those guys. Hopefully, they give them the nice push they deserve.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to see them add one more member because, like I say, I don't know if MVP is going to be much of an in-ring competitor. So I don't somebody like you said, Ricochet or Powerhouse Hobbs with those guys. Maybe give them the trios titles or something like that, or run with the trios titles.
I'd like to see them. I'd like to see obviously Bobby Lashley in like either the international or the world title scene. I'd like to see, depending on who the next person is, I'd like to see one of them with either. I'd like to see them with the tag team belts would work better. I think you could do the trios belts. I think tag team belts works better, and then put the TNT title on somebody. On one of them, dude. If you're gonna really push them as like a real major league powerhouse division, like a faction, then that's what you need to do. Because right now, because obviously Moxley's got the world title, but they've made it clear that world titles don't matter to them.
Yeah, and with him with the title, to continue their run with him coming out and beating down and need to change AEW, fine. But at some point, they're going to move on from Moxley,
Mm-hmm.
and I like to see Lashley with the title, not right away, but I like to see Lashley competing for the title.
Yep. And I think that's the whole point of him being there. You're not going to bring him in there and especially the way that they're literally building an entire faction around the guy. I can't see him not having at least the IN title.
Yeah.
If not, in the world title scene somewhere along the way.
I don't want Lashley in the world title scene unless they're ready to make him win. And
Yeah,
right
well,
now,
that's what I'm saying.
Not dropping that.
I don't think Mox is going to have that belt for very long.
No.
Because they've made it clear that the belt doesn't matter to him. And with the storyline that they're doing with that, they don't need the world title.
As long as they don't put on Darby Allin.
Dude, I'm telling you right now,
they will.
We're gonna get champion Darby sooner before later. I'm telling you,
Darby, go climb Mount Everest. that was one of his bucket list items. Go do it.
I know, and he's
take pockets with you. Okay, the two of you go climb Mount Everest.
Yeah. The thing is, from what I understand, Moxley's in complete control of that storyline. Like according to the interview. Yeah, well, yeah, maybe. Sometimes guys that you think are going to be terrible bookers end up being great.
Yeah, we saw how the Rocky 3 thing went.
Okay, the Rocky 3 thing, I actually didn't have a problem with. I think that was more Punk didn't. Well, it depends on which version of the story you hear him tell, because one version of the story that he's telling now is that he didn't want to be the world champion again. So, and that, I don't give a shit how good a storyline you write. If somebody is not, throwing their back into it, it's going to fall flat. So that's the problem, man. You hear like 3 different versions of every story, so you don't really know which one is what.
Switchblade take the title.
I'm biased, so I don't have that.
I understand. Dude, like I said, I can see both sides of the situation. I'll 100% say that, like, when people bring it up, Tony Khan dropped the ball on Cody by not exercising his option for his 5th year. He dropped the ball on Cody. He dropped the ball on Punk. So
that exercise that Cody thing started years ago when they had that stupid stipulation about never competing for the world title.
That was Cody's idea, though. That was no. Cody himself admitted that was 100% his idea.
Dumb.
It was dumb. Okay, so I can understand his motivation behind it, but I still think it was dumb. And it's something that they could have got out of if he had turned heel, but he didn't want to. So I would like to see Jay White in the AEW title scene as well. That dude's awesome. That guy, I don't know why he's not in the IN title scene right now, but we'll see. All right, that was your good.
Good.
Your bad?
My bad. The newness, the mysteriousness, the getting over of the Wyatt family is starting to draw to, or Wyatt 6 is starting to draw to a close.
Yeah. And
this segment with the Final Testament and Miz and stuff like that is not what they should be doing. I'm sorry. You want to get the Wyatt 6 over or keep them going, get rid of the Final Testament. Karrion Kross, AOP, all of them need to be gone.
Yeah.
I don't advocate somebody getting fired, losing their job, but put them in NXT. They don't need to be on the main roster. They have it's like a whole team of Baron Corbin. To me, I could care less about Final Testament. They come on and say, "Oh, potty break."
Yeah, especially the way that they've booked them, and they have not booked them to be strong. Nobody does. Is there anybody that thinks that they're gonna win this thing? It's like after Vince poisoned the well when it came to Karrion Kross. That was it. Like they didn't know how to rehab him. So, yeah, it's pretty bad.
Yeah, I could care less about Final Testament. Like I said, all those guys could go away and wouldn't matter. They're not putting butts in the seats.
No, and right now they're just being used as filler.
Leg kicks bad. MVP gives his thoughts on Hunter as manager. This could hurt him in the future. MVP doesn't care. He'll never go back to WWE.
No, I think him last year both done with WWE. I don't think they have any interest in going back, which is why they're just out here saying whatever the hell they feel like.
Yeah. They keep feeling he got stabbed in the back by Hunter and the team. Never got the push that they deserved, and he could care less.
Yep.
Just like I could care less about Cracker Barrel. I care less. F you, Cracker Barrel. I've moved on. I'll never spend a dime with that company ever again, but it is what it is. And my ugly. Do we really need another women's title on WWE? And you don't even, like, if you're going to make a big deal of a title, like you had before with bringing new titles out, when they brought the new titles out for the tag, they had Miz and R-Truth out there presented with the new titles.
Yeah.
You do a pre-recorded segment for this new women's title. It feels like an afterthought. There's no build to it. They haven't said anything about how it's going to be won. Nothing. And we complain about AEW having too many titles. I think WWE has more titles now than Raw.
Yeah, we actually remember. Between their three brands, we went through and we added up all their belts, and they have like three or four more belts than AEW does with Ring of Honor added to them. So this thing with like there are too many belts. Yeah, no, they're right. There are too many belts in both companies. So,
like, is it going to be defended on one brand and not the other? Is it going to go back and forth? Like, nobody knows.
Yeah. Well, it's just like we know that the whole reason they're doing this draft that's coming up is because they're going to be shunting a bunch of their talent over to Raw because that's going to be the new flagship show again. Once they there was also part of the stipulation with Netflix is Netflix could choose who they wanted. Like they can say we want this person, this person, this person, this person. So and with that, and because of how spread out everything's going to be now, they're just creating all these extra belts so that they've got titles to defend on all these different shows that are going to be out there.
Yep. But I like the bionic elbow myself, Mr.
It's always the
Dusty
bionic,
Rhodes. Dusty Rhodes bionic elbow.
Bionic elbow will always be the best.
But it just seems like there's no thought behind this women's title at all. But your women's roster doesn't get as much airtime, and then I don't think the women's roster is that good, to be honest. They play hot potato with the tag belts.
Yeah.
I
Yeah, dude, you want to know You want to know what, and it's all because it's all built around Jade Cargill and the eventually that she's gonna freaking turn on Bianca. You know what Jade Cargill's entire career has been since she went to WWE. Her and Bianca going back to back, turn around, going, okay. That happens every freaking match that they're in, and it's like this is literally all they've done. This is it. That's
all,
kind of
dude.
What's that?
That's all they'll do until they feel she's ready to carry singles matches.
Dude, if anything, watching her, she hasn't improved at all. She hasn't changed at all. Like the whole thing, like I said, the whole thing was they were supposed to be retraining her. Goes, I didn't teach her how to do it right. And then watching, she's doing the exact same. She's got a new finisher now. Ooh. Whoop-de-doo.
And I think this new title is going to come down to the finals, however they have it set. If they have a tournament, I'm saying it here first. This title tournament, if they do a tournament, is going to come down to the finals: Bianca Belair versus Jade Cargill.
I wouldn't be surprised. I think there's a very slim chance that Mia Yim or Mission, I don't know why they're still doing the name shit. There's a slim chance that she might take it, that she might get it, but I very seriously doubt it. It's going to be either Jade. I'm right now. I'm thinking it's probably going to be Jade. Big Daddy, it's always cool for good news, man. If you guys don't mind some good news, a little sub plug for my channel, 220,000 viewers in the last 4 weeks, and we hit over 1 million views. Hard work finally paying off. Over 4K videos. Yep, guys, definitely check out Big Daddy's channel, guys. Guardian of Chaos. Go learn
at
at
the ranch, man.
Yep.
Put the channel in the comments. You got the ranch, man.
Congratulations, Big Daddy. That's awesome, man.
Well, you guys
It
have
really
wrenches
is.
too. You can throw them in there. Oh yeah,
He
Big Daddy.
does.
Yeah, Big Daddy. Yeah, throw the link to your channel in there. You got the wrench. Yeah, the original learning tree, guys. Long before Chris Jericho took the name and took a crap all over it. Awesome old school videos, man. Stuff from Paradise Alley Wrestling. Young guys, some young guys that are coming up that we might be seeing someday. So
There's this one dude there whose finish is like a top rope front flip elbow drop that I can't understand how it works. It just does.
That's one thing I'll say about today's like whether you're into the flippy shit or stuff or that. Dude, some of the stuff, some of these freaking moves these guys are coming up with.
Looks
First of
fantastic.
all, you might want to use that stuff sparingly because landing on your back and stuff like that from that high up over and over and over again, you're gonna be that's gonna have diminishing returns after a while. But dude, some of the innovation that's out there is bonkers. It really is. But no problem, Big Daddy. Always, man. Always.
Yeah. Like Kick, never know. Maybe all the women get hurt. They'll put women's title on Dom. Instead of being Dominic Mysterio, it'll be Dame Mysterio.
Dude,
they'll just bring Santino back.
Oh God. Please don't. No, dude. Yeah, no, they'll just wait till Jordan Grace is finishing TNA, and then they'll bring her over, and then they'll make her the first intergender champion because that's what she was over there. But anyway, that was your bad. Did you do your ugly?
Yeah, my ugly was the stupid women's title that they're introducing.
Yeah. Too many belts. Okay, good for me.
There's his link.
Oh, there you go. Click on that, guys. Go like and subscribe, and just check out some of the wisdom from the man, dude. My good. NXT at the former ECW arena this last week was actually pretty cool. Yeah, as I said, Blanchard was in TNA.
No, you said Jordan Grace.
That's well. See, when I said the first intergender champion, I mean she was actually. I think that's what they called the belt. It was basically a belt that could be because what with Tessa Blanchard was she won the men's championship. So technically, it's not the same thing. I think, but Jordan Grace, I think, was literally the intergender champion. or there was a title they came up with, and it changed names like 4 or 5 times.
Well, they were at one point thinking about having intergender tag titles in WWE.
Yeah. Which that's not as bad because we've had mixed tag matches for a long time. I just don't. You don't need more belts. You don't need more belts.
Nah.
Megan Payne is the future of intergender wrestling. Backtrack, but I ain't backtrack shit.
Well, you also had China at one point. She was an intercontinental champion, wasn't she?
Yeah, which actually I thought they did that because it was really popular, but it turns out that like fans were not really into that. They didn't.
Easier 200K of Jarrett's career.
What's that?
Easier 200K of Jeff Jarrett's career.
Dude, man, listening to her talk about it, he talks about her and the greatest Andy Kaufman. I'm the king. I'm the king. I'm the king of Memphis, Tennessee. You guys remember that?
Yep.
And Andy Kaufman was doing that friggin' dude. Andy Kaufman was nuts.
I don't know. I'm a child.
Yeah. You're a youngin', man. You see videos of that and you're like, who the hell is this guy? But anyway, for me, the good this week, NXT at the former ECW arena. There was a bunch of ECW alumni there, and it was just a fun time. Now, obviously, this gimmick stuff that they're doing with NXT, bringing in like people from the main roster, doing gimmicks like this, these callback things like this. Eventually, this stuff's going to die out. But right now, it's doing what it's meant to do, and it's getting eyes on NXT. It's making people tune into CW. Although, even though it beat AEW this week, and pretty soundly by like about 200,000 viewers, I think. The ratings for both of them were not great. NXT, I think, was 700 and something thousand.
How give NXT a pass because being out of your regular time slot always hurts? AEW gotta get their stuff together.
Yeah, AEW. Well, hopefully, some of the things we've been hearing that is an indication that AEW might be moving in the right direction. But I don't know. As long as Tony Khan just doesn't seem to be thinking that way, I don't know. It's going to be. I get the feeling it's going to get worse before it gets better.
Yeah, good.
The other good, Wrestle Kingdom. You know, I'm going to talk about New Japan. Come on.
Of course. Why would you not?
But Wrestle Kingdom 19, we've got quite a few matches on the card already, and a couple of them are freaking fire, dude. First one, the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship, Zack Sabre Jr. versus Shota Umino. Dude, Shota Umino's been his star's been on the rise, and Zack Sabre Jr. being the champion is the best thing that they could possibly have done because that dude's freaking amazing. Put that belt on him, and I just don't feel like they've promoted him as heavily as they should. Hiroshi Tanahashi versus Evil. IWGP Global Champion David Finlay versus Yota Tsuji. That'll be a good match. Three-way match. New Japan World Television Champion Red Narita defends against Jeff Cobb and Ryohei Oiwa. I always mess up his name. But here's another big one. Never Openweight Champion Shingo Takagi. Shingo Takagi, one of my favorites, defends against Konosuke Takeshita. AEW International Championship will also be on the line. Look, he ain't gonna lose that, but that's gonna be a fire match, freaking fire match. So
you glossed over that Evil versus Tanahashi match way too quick. Are you not excited for that?
Dude, I'm not excited for anything Evil's in. Dude, Evil's the kiss of death. Evil, look, the only time Evil didn't suck balls is when he was with Los Ingobernables. And as soon as he jumped over to Bullet Club, where that's the other thing too. Why is every heel in Bullet Club? We can't have another faction, for God's sake. There's like 5 different sub factions in friggin' Bullet Club at this point. There's like 30 members. They have literally turned into the NWO. NWO in 2000, which is bad. But card for Wrestle Kingdom and also Wrestle Dynasty. It'll be the next day. Looking pretty awesome, guys. The teams announced for New Japan World Tag League. Dude, seriously, this thing could not have less star power if they went out and just grabbed every freaking chud on the freaking street and had them throw on some Speedo and jump in the ring. There's maybe 3 guys in here. I go, okay, I'm interested in that. I'm interested in that. I'm interested in that. That's it. Literally, the biggest star they have in this thing is Zack Sabre Jr., which I'm like, why is Zack Sabre Jr. in World Tag League? Why is your world champion in World Tag League? Where are your tag teams? Nowhere. And it's just like, what the hell, man? Like 3 or 4 years ago, World Tag League was the shit, dude. It was the shit. Like 3 or 4 surprise tag teams would show up. People would be like, holy crap, this is going to be awesome. And now it's like, these are all thrown together tag teams. Every single one of these. There isn't an actual tag team in World Tag League. The hell, man. It just, God, dude. This tournament, I love this tournament, and I'm sure that the wrestling will be okay. But as far as like excitement for it, man, dead. And the ugly, what was that? I had something weird for my ugly this week. What was it? Oh yeah. And it's not really much of an ugly. It's just an observation this week. Look, I love Rikishi. I think his sons are awesome. I think they're going to go down as one of the best tag teams of all time. Yeah. The Grizzled Young Vets won the IWGP World Tag Team titles, and they're not in friggin' Tag League. Huh? Your champions aren't going to be there? Jeez, dude. That's what I'm talking about. Ugh. Drive me freaking crazy. Yeah, pissed me off. Now, Rikishi. Look, I get that they're your sons. They're super popular right now. They're part of the biggest storyline. The Bloodline is obviously the biggest storyline. You can't bitch every time they're not the main event. Okay, There's a reason why they weren't the main event in Saudi Arabia. It's because the main event in Saudi Arabia is supposed to be your world champion versus, either somebody a big or your other world champion. It was both your world champions.
Yes, and you made a title for that very reason.
Yes, exactly. And he's bitching that they should have been the main event. No, they can't be. Just the way the feud is designed and the way that show is designed, you can't. This is one of the times that I'm actually 100% behind the booking. Cody is your world champion. He's supposed to be your top guy. So you bill him as your top guy. So you can't have him taking they've been doing it for too long. And I think they realize this, and that's why they're kind of pushing him a little harder now. You can't have your world champion be a secondary player in your company. He's the face of your company. If you're not going to do that, put the belt back on Roman. So if that's the way it's going to be, you got to build other people up. So I love the dude. Like I said, I love Rikishi. I'm happy for him. I'm happy for his family. But dude, you can't bitch every time your guys aren't the main event. It's like, knock it off. Okay. So that's my GBU. Frank, you got anything?
I already did mine first, remember?
I mean, Johnny, I'm sorry.
Just one thing, I forgot to grab the link because I'm stupid, but if anyone can go share around Dutch Mantel's GoFundMe link.
Yeah, I did that last week.
He's needing help right now.
Yeah, he's in a bad way, man. Yep.
And while I'm at it, fuck Dave Meltzer.
Yeah, Dave said some pretty shitty stuff. about Dutch. It's like, dude, you're gonna kick the man while he's down. They will not go down as one of the greatest tag teams. I think they're super popular. I don't know if I would put them in a top 10 for tag teams, but I definitely don't think they're at the bottom. He's back on the air. Yep, Johnny's here.
Yeah. Big Daddy, it was good.
It was fun.
Yeah. The crowd really loved MVP and Lashley coming out.
Oh my god, dude. The two biggest crowd reactions were MVP for MVP and when Bobby Lashley came out, and for Buddy Matthews.
Yep.
That match, like, dude, they were booing Adam Cole and cheering Buddy Matthews. That's how much people like the House of Black guys. That's how popular these guys are. Why they're not getting pushed? They're getting a bigger push now than they have for a while. So it'll be interesting to see where they go with it. Oh, he's back. Yeah, he did. Yeah, Dutch Mantel did a stream on his channel last week. Yeah, he's still really sick. My understanding is his wife is in a lot worse shape than he is, though. And they really do need. I'll find that link and I'll throw it back up. I'll put it in the description of the show.
Yeah, but with the live show, Big Daddy can definitely tell there's a decrease in the attendance at these events.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they sold. I think they sold out of the tickets that they had pre-planned, but that was nowhere near what that venue could hold. That venue could hold right around, what was it, like 8,000?
Yeah,
8,000 or 9,000, somewhere around there, and they sold. I think it was like 35. Like 36, 37, something like that.
Yeah.
So it wasn't even, it was maybe half full.
Yeah, when we went there for the first event years ago, the entrance ramp was a lot longer, twice as long at least than it was the other day.
Yeah. It was further back, so they had more seats on those two sides.
If they manage to cool off MJF, imagine how people feel about the rest of the guys.
The thing is, I do think eventually AEW is going to figure it out, and I think the reason why I think that is because Tony can talk about how he's the owner and everything of that show of that company all he wants. The real owner is his papa. Okay, and if he doesn't start seeing, he's not going to be involved in a failure. So if shit gets to the point where it's untenable, he's probably gonna step in and do something about it. So, and it does sound like they realize that some of the stuff that they're doing just isn't working. They need to evolve. The question is, will Tony let them evolve in the ways that they need to evolve? Because he is a billionaire, and we know billionaires have a tendency to be a little narcissistic. So, we'll see. I want them to. I really do. I love the talent in AEW. I want to see them succeed. But they're going to have to take a long, hard look at themselves.
Yep.
Yeah. The one thing I did notice about the show that I did go back and I watched the broadcast of it. It almost feels like they toned down the crowd and in the recording. Because that parts were like you were there with me when they were louder than crap. It didn't sound anywhere near as loud.
No, it did not.
It was weird. And the other thing too, man, is like, dude, Bobby Lashley coming in, that's such a big deal. Why didn't you have some pyro for the guy? I don't think they had any pyro for anybody. The way that, dude, honestly, I'm gonna tell you, man, the way that especially considering that was supposed to be a special episode for Dynamite, the way that ramp set up and everything, man, was like bare bones. It didn't look good at all. So I'm like, I don't know if they're just treading water until the new deal kicks in and they got a bunch of extra money to spend, because I do know that they are spending some of it on their production values and whatnot. But man, they better do something.
Got that right.
Looking good. Okay. See, we got one more thing to do here. So last week, you guys gave me a bunch of ideas, and I lost them. For who better than Randy Orton, baby? Yeah, I lost them.
Wow.
Dude, I've been having so many problems lately here. So,
Rob.
what? What do you want me to tell you? Like, you never screwed up, dude?
You lost him. That's all right. Shit happens.
Look, it happens, okay? It happens. What do you want from me? All right. So I'm going to pull up my list here that I had before you guys gave me all these ideas. And I'm going to throw some of those in there. Okay? Because, I mean, shit, that's all I can do. All right. And I think maybe we already did this guy, but I'm going to throw him in there anyway. Mr. Perfect, Kurt Hennig. Is Mr. Perfect better than Randy Orton?
Nah.
You shut your pie hole.
I think no. If he wouldn't have gotten hurt, I think he could have been better than Randy. But
So
no, I'd have to
you
go.
think the injury cutting his career short is what did it?
Yeah.
Okay. I can definitely see that side of it. Personally, I think he was better. I think he was better in the ring than Randy. But I do think his, the injury shortening his career, that is going to have effect because Randy's been around for a long time. A long time. Me personally, I'm going to say Randy, but man, my heart wants to say Kurt, wants to say Mr. Perfect. So we did him. Dustin Rhodes or Randy? Who better, Dustin Rhodes or Randy? We did. Oh, that was one of the ones you gave me last week. Okay, I'll throw that one in there. Well, I'm saying Randy. So that we got 4 guys for Randy. I'm interested in Big Daddy's opinion on this because he's even more old school than we are. So I just think Kurt was a bet. I think Kurt was just better in the ring. But like you said, his career got shortened. So it remains.
Daddy's thinking hard.
Yep, he's thinking hard. We'll give him a second for that. Do you agree with me? Do you think he was better, more skilled in the ring?
Yes. Yes.
At least not that clear.
I think he was more skilled in the ring.
What did you say, Johnny?
I don't think it is that easy to say. Man, Randy's so good at every aspect of this.
He is. But dude, like I'm telling you, man, like Kurt Hennig, like that one guy, and it's unfortunate because I saw him at a bunch of house shows, not just when he was on TV and whatnot, but that guy was just so polished in the ring, man. And his ring awareness was like next level, dude. Like you were in there with him, you weren't going to get hurt. Must see, yeah, he wrestled Brock on a plane. Yeah, that dude goes up against Brock Lesnar on a freaking in a metal tube over the ocean. The guy's got some balls, man. Okay, now here's an interesting one. I think people will be arguing about. Bill Goldberg. Is Bill Goldberg better than Randy Orton? Now, it depends on your criteria, man. Think about this.
Do I dignify this with an answer?
You done messed up, AA.
I'm sorry. I've been playing with clips for a while, man. I knew that one was going to trigger a bunch of people.
That's
Rob,
a long fucking
Rob.
Jesus Christ.
You're fired.
Hey, you don't play with my clips. Those are my clips.
What? What the fuck?
All right, look. I know for some people it's
Some motherfuckers are always trying to ice skate uphill.
all right, enough. I know some people, their criteria are different, man. My criteria is
9.
Dude, seriously, I will pick you if you do that again. All right. So I don't think me personally, I'm pretty much everybody here, like all of us in agreement. I think we're all gonna say Orton. Okay. Orton 100%. But there are some people who say, how many eyes are they bringing on the product? How how over were they? That's the criteria. The WWE
Some
standard.
people are stupid.
Yeah.
Dude, it's an arbitrary thing. Now, I don't think anybody is gonna say, is that vodka? I don't think
I might have to with that suggestion.
I'm just saying, dude. I don't think anybody's gonna say that he's better in the ring. There you go. See, Goldberg, more exciting. Leg kick, you're sick, but all right, brother. I appreciate that. My criteria, no way, not even close. And like this whole thing with him wanting to have his I want to have a retirement match. I'm like, dude, what do you want to kill somebody? Because the last time you had a match, you almost crippled the Undertaker for life. So
he wasn't a better wrestler. He wasn't a better talker. They just put the machine behind him. That doesn't make him good.
Oh, exactly, 100%. Like Goldberg created that idea that if you just keep pumping somebody, eventually they're going to get over. Now, I do think that he did have a presence. He looked mean as shit. He did have a presence, but like the minute he stepped into the ring, the guy was suspect.
Yep.
And what sucked is I honestly think he could have ended up being better. He could have ended up actually being a pretty good, big man wrestler. The problem is he got in there, he learned 3 friggin' moves, and then they told him, "Oh, you're good. You don't need it. You don't need to learn anything else."
You're good. Brad is waiting you in the ring.
Oh my God. Yeah, the Goldberg run cannot be discounted, man. Like that's a big part of the reason why WCW was beating WWE, WWF at the time for a long time, was because of, like a Big Daddy said, aura. Like, yeah, the presentation, exactly. That's how far presentation can take you. Is Bill Goldberg. So now imagine if he had the skill and the aura at the same time. How amazing would that guy have been then? So, before I get shot, let me go ahead and move on. All right. So Bill Goldberg, I think we all agree Randy Orton is better than Bill Goldberg.
Yes.
All right. Mr. Saturday Night, the whole effing show, Rob Van Dam. Is Rob Van Dam better than Randy Orton?
No.
You don't think so?
Mm-mm. I think Rob is in that Jeff Hardy category. Like, everybody likes him. He's unique, but he's not better. No.
You think overall he just doesn't have the same
Mm-mm.
the same? Yeah, I mean pedigree wise, I would be inclined to agree with you, but at the same time, again, there's that excitement factor and the creativity, man. Rob Van Dam, I think, I don't know, is he better in the ring than Randy? I think he's more flamboyant, and I think he's got a much bigger flair and presentation. But I don't know if that particularly means he's better because Randy's very technically sound.
Yeah, Orton's better. RVD fit ECW.
Mm-hmm.
The style they were in.
Yeah, he fit ECW a lot better than he did WWE.
If you had Orton wrestling at that time, he would not be. Yeah, I know. Leg kick, but leg kick also.
I'm just saying.
Goldberg was more exciting.
Hey, there's another one, Van Dam, man. Maldacito says Van Dam. It depends on what you think. I think this is kind of like. I'm actually glad I picked this one because this is kind of like when you're comparing Brett versus Shawn.
RVD worked in ECW. He wouldn't have worked in WWF. Orton worked in WWF. He would not have worked in ECW.
I agree. That's it. You don't add anything to that, or I mean Rob Van Dam in a straight up bout Orton. Okay. Yeah, because like I said, the reason why I kind of compare this to Shawn and Brett is Brett was I don't think there's a lot of people that would argue that Brett wasn't technically a better wrestler. I think he was a little more polished. I think the thing with Shawn though is that Shawn was a bigger showman. Shawn was the showman. He was the showstopper. You know, that's why they called him that. I think comparing Orton and Van Dam is the same thing. So depending on which one you think is more important, you know, that would, you know, determine your decision. And I kind of go back to a statement that Jim Cornette made about Rob Van Dam. He said the stuff that Rob Van Dam does wouldn't work for anybody else. He said, "If somebody is like you see other people, you see people today trying to emulate Rob Van Dam, and they fall short. It doesn't work because they're not him, and they just don't have that unique mix of qualities." He's like he talked about how the way he would go up the turnbuckle and everything. He's like the way he does it is completely stupid, but for him it works. So, yeah, and I agree. I don't think he. I mean, I think he works. I think he can work. He can at least be decent anywhere, but I think in ECW is where he really shined, man. So, me personally, I'm gonna say Randy. But if you're talking showman, man, I think Rob Van Dam has it all over him as a showman. Yep. Hart over Michaels without question. Yeah, again, like I said, the criteria is what matters, and I think that excellence in the ring, that ability to, you know, just work with anybody, be able to adapt to any situation, go into any match with pretty much anybody and make it look good. I think Brett was better than Shawn was. As good as Shawn, and that's not saying Shawn Michaels wasn't good. Shawn Michaels was great, but I think Brett was just technically more sound. Okay. And that's it. That's who better than Randy Orton this week. I'm sorry I lost the list, guys.
It's all right.
But
I know Dustin Rhodes is one of the options.
Yeah, and I'll throw him on the list for next week. I'll make sure I save it this time. But yeah, so next week we'll do a different one, and Dustin will be on there. That's going to be an interesting one. I got to kind of look through Dustin's career a little bit because it's been a minute. But all right, so you guys watched Raw, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What did you think of the show overall?
I won't remember it next week.
B- maybe.
Yeah, you know, that's pretty much what I've been getting from a lot of people. The two biggest things that came out of that show was the setup for Gunther versus Damian Priest, but even more so, never liked Michaels. Okay, Dude, I'm like I said, man, the way people act and stuff, like sometimes there are people that still hate Shawn Michaels.
Yep.
But and this is look, the match is going to be great because it's Gunther and Damian Priest, and then it's going to lead to the disintegration of what's left of Imperium, which I don't know what the deal is with them going there and destroying all their tag teams. But one, they're not taking that belt off of Gunther, so Damian Priest isn't going to win this match. Two, I'm going to tell you, man, I'm not feeling tweener Gunther. I'm not feeling this, man. Gunther as a scene-chewing Marvel villain level old school heel, that's the best version of him, man. And this whole thing where they're trying to make him feel they're trying to turn him face is what they're doing. They're trying to turn him face, and I'm not feeling it. I'm not buying it. What do you guys think?
I don't know what they're doing with Gunther, honestly.
I mean, the match will be great.
It is, but like you said, they're not putting the title on Priest.
Yeah. They're not putting it on Priest. They're building up to basically Gunther versus Kaiser. I'm hoping that this doesn't lead to them like deflating Gunther, because it feels like that's what they're doing. What was it? Okay. Another thing I didn't care about in the show: Damage Control versus the Pure Fusion Collective, dude. If this wasn't if this didn't encapsulate the problem with WWE's women's division, nothing else would. This was the biggest nothing burger on the freaking Dakota Kai came back, and it was just like, oh, hey, sup? I'm like, dude, you're not going to make this innocent. Like, it's just like they did not give a crap. Nobody gave a crap about this entire thing. And it was just like, it was the biggest filler moment you could possibly have. No heat on any of them. Nobody cares about any of this stuff. And you've got some of the best female wrestlers in the world, man. Io is going to be probably going to win the Royal Rumble.
Yep.
And it's just like, eh. It's like as bad as AEW's women's division might be right now, at least they've got a couple of people that they're really, really pushing. Outside of Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan, they ain't doing jack with the women's division in WWE. Absolutely nothing. Kofi Kingston versus Pete Dunne, didn't care. At this point, this whole thing they're doing with the New Day is like, dude, either pull the trigger on him and break him up, or have Big E come back and bring them back together. But at this point, nobody cares about this one either.
Yeah.
The thing with Odyssey Jones really threw them off on that, huh?
Not even just, well, that was bad, but not even just that. It's just dragging this thing on, and everybody's losing. They're losing their patience with it. Bronson Reed, the probably the best thing to come out of all this stuff is Bronson Reed.
Yeah.
They're continuing to elevate this guy. Now that they've pushed it to 5-man to 5-on-5 for War Games at Survivor Series, I get the feeling I rather they had somebody that was connected to the bloodline or the people involved in the bloodline in some way, shape, or form. Seth Rollins is connected to Roman. I don't know that I like this because in my opinion, the two extra men are going to be Bronson Reed and
Hey guys,
Seth Rollins.
I'm gonna have to cut it short tonight. Like you guys, daylight savings change, and I have some place to be a bit.
No problem, brother. Appreciate you being here.
Yeah, hey, you were here. We appreciate you being here.
Yep.
Thank you. See you guys next week.
Yep. Take it easy, man. Be safe. But yeah, I don't I don't want them to be part of this. It should be somebody else. It should be somebody that's connected to them in a better way. And I do like that they are really focusing and building up this storyline between the Bloodline and Bloodline 2.0. But for God's sake, dude, I don't think this isn't rushed. You think it's rushed?
What, the Bloodline?
Bloodline versus Bloodline 2.0. Do you feel like they're rushing this?
No.
Why does it feel like they are? Is it just because it's too predictable? Because everything is happening exactly the way we said it was going to? Because because there was something about it that was just like, man, something's turning me off about this. And then somebody said, man, this feels rushed. And I thought, in a way it does, but in another way, but they've been working on it for months. So what is it missing? Like this thing is missing some zing. And I can't put my finger on what it is. Is it because The Rock's not involved?
No, it feels like it's turning into NWO Black and White versus NWO Wolfpack.
Kind of. Like the thing that I'm wondering is when War Games happens and we get a definitive winner in this thing, is that going to be it? Are the other two going to absorb? Like, the two factions going to absorb each other and become one? Because
no,
or are they going to drag this thing even further?
It's going to drag it even further.
I don't know if you can though, man. Unless, because I think we're all pretty much in agreement that Bloodline, the OG Bloodline, is going to win this one, right? Because they lost the last one. And Solo ain't it. I'm sorry, he just ain't it.
He isn't it.
Unless Jacob takes over.
It's hard to say how it shakes out because you still have two or three more Samoans that haven't even appeared yet.
You got Hikuleo, you've got Zilla Fatu, who I believe Zilla is part of the WWE ID program, the new thing. So there's two more guys there. But really, is it more members? They don't need more members. They just need a direction for where this thing's going. You know what I mean?
Right. And I don't know where it's going other than somebody turning.
Right.
Either somebody on Solo's side or somebody on Roman's side turning, or it's going to keep going on.
I mean, I know we're going to get Roman versus The Rock probably at WrestleMania, even though they keep saying that's not the case. I'm calling BS. We're going to get Roman versus The Rock at WrestleMania, either night 1 or night 2. It's going to be Roman versus The Rock at WrestleMania. I don't know. It just feels like Sammy coming back, even though we predicted it was predictable. I do feel like that adds a little bit of dimension back to it. But adding the fifth man, what does it do? What does it really do? It doesn't really do anything other than make it a traditional War Games match. It's like the other thing they said is that the other pair it could be is they said it could be who else did they say it was possibly going to be there? I know they said Cody was a possibility, which I think is terrible. Like, Cody doesn't need to be near this thing. the two that make the best sense to me, if you're not going to use more members of the Adewale family, or you're going to use Hikuleo, if you're not going to use those guys, is Seth and Bronson. But I don't know why. The only reason Bronson would be there is if Seth says yes. Which again, it's great because that'll help elevate Bronson Reed some more. But it's not going to do anything for this storyline, and this is supposed to be the apex.
But why do you introduce Bronson Reed? Like,
That's what I'm saying.
It has nothing to do with any bloodline stuff. You're just now adding him to it just to make it a fifth member on each side.
That's exactly what they're doing. This is what I was like, just make it freaking 4v4. Doesn't need to be 5v5. I don't know. Like I said, it just feels like they're forcing this thing a little bit. And by forcing it a little bit, it makes it feel like they're rushing it a little bit. And then by rushing it, like you said, it doesn't feel like a true inner conflict. So I don't know. Maybe I might be just reading into this way too much. But all I know is that as good as the Bloodline storyline is, and it is still probably the best storyline in wrestling. Outside of it, it feels like they're just spinning their wheels. And it feels like another one of those things where they're just going to try and keep kicking this thing down the road. And it's just going to be more and more, it's going to be diminishing returns all the way until they finally do freaking pull the trigger on this thing.
Yeah. The problem is, like I said before, it feels like two versions of NWO.
Yeah.
And one of the reasons NWO crashed and burned is because you kept adding more and more to it. If you combine these two together and add more, and then you get up to the 8, 10, 12 Samoans, when is enough?
Yeah. But as far as the build up for it, the matches that they have already set up for Survivor Series, it's looking like it's going to be a good show.
And they got that match, and then they're looking to build the women's match with Bianca, Cargill, and Damage Control, I think.
Dude, I'm going to tell you something right now. If you, as like I said, we're complaining about the build up for the Bloodline versus Bloodline 2.0. Man, the build up for the women's Survivor Series that's been terrible. That's been absolutely terrible. You got people who were literally fighting for your titles 2 weeks ago are now raising their hands with you in the ring. The entire women's war game is being built up for one purpose and one purpose only, and that's so that Jade can turn on Bianca. That's it. There's nothing else to this thing. There's no meat on the bone at all. So
the last time there was meat on the bones for that people really invested in the women's Survivor Series was when Becky Lynch got her nose broken 4 years ago.
Yep. 100%. 100%. So far we've got OG Bloodline versus the new Bloodline 2.0. We got, I believe we're going to end up with Braun Breaker versus Dominic Mysterio for the IC belt. Liv versus, let's see, Women's World Championship. They haven't announced that. The inaugural Women's U.S. Championship. Again, don't think you need more belts, but they got to have stuff to defend on these new shows.
If you're not going to defend the main titles, you got to do something else.
Yeah. So,
and the best thing that they could do to bring some excitement back to the women's division was have Tiffy Time come out and cash in.
That's another thing that they've been dragging their feet with. They need to pull the trigger on that crap too. But yeah, I mean, so far the card looks like it's going to be decent. It's going to be good. I'm still excited for it. I still think it's going to be a good show. and it does look like it's starting to take shape. But that wrinkle this wrinkle that they threw in, where they're going to have a fifth man, I don't know that that's going to help. I think that might be more of a hindrance than anything. But anyway, that's what we think. What do you guys think? I'm going to go ahead and call it there. It's a little bit of a weird show this week. We're kind of in the middle, like we're in like that middle point between pay-per-views for both companies. When is
23rd is Full Gear, isn't it?
Full Gear?
And the 30th, a week later, is Survivor Series, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, Full Gear is November 23rd, right? And I know that there's that card is actually starting to stack up too.
It is.
There's already was it 6 matches that have been announced. One of them is going to be 0 hour though. Moxley versus Cassidy, Monet versus Statlander, Jack Perry versus, dude, talk about a friggin' match with 0 friggin' fire to it. Jack Perry versus Daniel Garcia. Dude, I want Garcia to win just to get that belt off of Perry and maybe do something with it. Good God, dude. He's done jack shit with that thing. Page versus White. That's the match that I'm really looking at. Strickland versus Lashley. That'll be good. And then this friggin' Costco guy versus QT Marshall. But yeah, like right now, we're just kind of like in between the two, in between both friggin' pay-per-views. So this week is we should get a little bit more, hopefully, for Full Gear, and hopefully we'll see how that shapes out. Do you want to since it's one of the big four, do you want to live stream Survivor Series?
Maybe.
Okay. Well, we'll make a decision next week. We'll figure it out. But anyway, guys, appreciate you being here. Everybody was stopped in. Leg Kick, Maldacito, Big Daddy, Miss Saren, and anybody else that I've missed here. Johnny, appreciate you stopping in and hanging out with his brother. OTS Tribal Queen, appreciate you being here as well. And yeah, we'll see you guys next week. Have a good one, everybody. Bye.